You're watching the Indiana Sports Network. You're watching college sports on the Indiana Sports Network, presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
This program is a copyrighted production of Indiana Sports Network and cannot be shown, reproduced, or redistributed in any way or in any form without prior written permission from Indiana Sports Network.
You're watching Rose-Hulman men's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network. Welcome to Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, the U.S. News & World Report's #1 engineering school in the United States that offers a master's as its highest degree for 18 consecutive years. Rose-Hulman, where you come to find yourself. Find yourself through personal growth, through personal development, through study, research, and invention. Rose-Hulman, your home for academic and athletic excellence. You're watching college sports on the Indiana Sports Network, presented by the Indiana National Guard.
Where tonight's non-conference affair between the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers and the Wabash Little Giants. Hello, Walter Gordon, Troy Wozine, happy to be with you in the broadcast perch slightly above the court at John Mushner Court here with Rose-Hulman looking for a big win against a foe that they're very familiar with.
Yeah, it's always kind of a big game when Wabash comes to town. You know, they went to the Final Four last year, so this is going to be a test here for the Engineers tonight. But it's community night here, so that's a cool deal that Rose-Hulman puts on. Kind of get everybody in the area involved and free admission. If you're close, stop by and see us.
And it's a great night to be indoors.
Oh, yeah.
Number one. Is getting colder by the millisecond, I think, as the cold front is
she's coming
right around us. And just talking to Bradley Harton's dad before the game, and he's like, "Man, I'm trying to get out of here tomorrow before the weather comes." And that's the talk of the town. The weather is looming, but tonight, with our game being on Tuesday night, it was already scheduled as such. But actually it works out really well. Of course, Wabash is close, an hour, 15 minutes away. But it works out really well schedule-wise. Normally we'd have a conference game on a Wednesday, but having the non-conference game here today on Tuesday, for this week, it really bodes well.
Yeah, like you said, it worked out perfectly. You got the big holiday weekend coming up and this unexpected blast of winter we got headed our way. That, as you mentioned, everybody's kind of on edge about, you know. Yeah. It should be an interesting show tonight, though, with the Engineers and the Little Giants. Rose-Hulman, this begins a 4-game stretch here at home. This could be 4 pivotal games. You know, they're sitting 500 on the season, so it's a good chance for them to kind of get a leg up going into conference play.
And, of course, Rose-Hulman is sitting 5-5 on the season, 2-2 in conference play. The Little Giants sitting at 7-2 on the season, I believe 2-1 in the North Coast Athletic Conference. A very really good conference. So when you look at what these two teams are able to do year in and year out, you're looking at two teams that really put a good product on the floor year in and year out. And Wabash and Rose-Hulman, they just don't disappoint. These are two teams that focus obviously on education, and the students that graduate from these two institutions are setting themselves up very nicely. Get a leg up in your career, but then you look at the athletics and go up and down the list of sports. They compete both of these institutions compete on a very high level here in Division III.
Oh, absolutely. As I mentioned already, Wabash going to the Final Four last year in Division III. And Rose-Hulman up and down the board. I mean, you look at the women's soccer, men's soccer this year, both conference champions. The football team's been very successful of late. I mean, it's just everywhere you look. The volleyball team, a little bit of a rough year, but, you know, they held their own, finished top 5 in conference play, and it was a pretty good year overall for Rose. We'd like to see the men's basketball get rolling tonight and put on a show as we get towards spring.
And men's basketball is what we're showcasing for you here tonight. The Rose-Hulman Arena is the stage, and Wabash is the opponent. Rose-Hulman will try to be, not so much of a gracious host as they look to play Wabash. In a matter of about 9 or 10 minutes, we'll have that game for you. We'll step aside for our first break in our pregame show. Come back and get you set for action. It's Wabash and Rose-Hulman right here on the Indiana Sports Network.
If somebody's kind of on the fence of going into a recruiting office or just reaching out to a recruiter, I would absolutely encourage it, if anything, just for the information.
We have a lot of enlistment bonuses out there right now, upwards to about $20,000. If you're in college or you plan to be to college, this is a great choice for you because our organization, we look for students who want to go to college. We also have educational benefits where we pay up to 100% of.
XLH Sports, the undisputed leader in Indiana high school sports, is proud to be associated with the Indiana Sports Network. XLH Sports, check it out today.
There is a greatness inside of you, a passion, a strength, a determination. So embrace it. Embrace the greatness that you bring to everything you do. Embrace the idea that you can do work that makes an impact, work that keeps the country moving forward and our economy strong. Because not everyone has what you have, and that's exactly what connects you to all of us at Great Dane. There's greatness inside of you. Are you ready to embrace it?
When my family opened the first Culver's in Sauk City, Wisconsin, you know what we did? We gave it our all, making sure everyone felt welcome, sharing our favorite foods from around the state, like Butterburgers and fresh frozen custard, greeting every guest with all our heart, crafting each meal with care, believing a smile makes everything taste better. And it's a tradition we bring with us yet today, from our hometown to yours. Welcome to Delicious.
This game is presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
And we thank the Indiana Army National Guard for stepping up in a big-time way and helping us here at the Indiana Sports Network put on the broadcast that we bring to you as every time that we grace the microphone and grace a gymnasium or a football field or baseball diamond, what have you. It takes our sponsors, and we thank all of them for their contributions to help us make this dream possible. Wabash and Rose-Hulman. We talked about the overall record, 7-2 for Wabash, 5-5 for Rose-Hulman. You look at Wabash, a very balanced attack with guys that are able to score in double figures.
Yeah, they really are. Kind of led by Amani Jones. He's a junior from Indianapolis, and, you know, he's dangerous from behind the three-point line down inside. I think he's the leading rebounder on the team, but you've got to look at more than just him. Right. Obviously, they've got a lot of weapons up and down the board, and the thing is, they're a pretty young team. Right. I mean, they could be really dangerous in the next couple of years.
They really could, and I know that when you look at a team that coming off of a Final Four berth the year before, sometimes and then you have the guys like Davidson that you lose with the graduation and some others that graduated that are big parts of the team, trying to pick back up from that. It can be difficult, but Wabash is off to a really good start.
Yeah, it's easy to have a letdown, after a big success. You see it in every sport you watch, football, baseball, basketball, it happens all the time. But it's tough to keep that competitiveness that you had the year before. Their head coach, Kyle Brummett, he's done an excellent job. He's in his 9th year. He actually came from the HCAC. I think he went to Hanover. So, it's the HCAC seems to be a breeding ground for successful coaches. That's one thing I've noticed. But, yeah, Wabash is well coached, very disciplined. So Rose-Hulman's going to have to be on their game tonight.
And Rose-Hulman, when you look at the Fighting Engineers, you know, you have a first-year head coach trying to learn a system, and there's a few little growing pains from here and there. But overall, the Engineers, they played some really tough opponents, and to be 500 at this part of the season, I would think that the Coach Sales and the boys are maybe we could be a little bit disappointed, but from the outside looking in, you say, okay, you're 500, you're 500, being 2-2 in conference at this point in the season. I think we'll take that and be able to move on.
Yeah, you know, it certainly could be worse. Obviously, no coach is going to be happy with a 500 record, but it could be much worse, and it's not. And Rose-Hulman, this is their final pre-conference match of the year, I guess, or non-conference match of the year. So, but it's a big game with Wabash, and as I mentioned, the 4 straight home games here. There's a good chance to build a lot of momentum. You've got the meat of the conference season coming up, so it's time to kick it into gear. And let's see if they can win 3 or 4 of these home games. They're in pretty good shape.
And when you look at winning a game like this, it's going to take some of your main contributors. Max Chaplin, one of the team leaders, Miles McGowan as a sophomore, coming into his own as a young man that can give you double-doubles as well. So you're going to have those, but Rose-Hulman has so much depth. But you're going to have some of your stars, if you will. And I use that word cautiously. And now that it's escaped my mouth, I regret saying it because that alludes to that kind of a one-man show, but it's not anywhere near the case. So, but you need the guys that have been scoring at a regular clip to score today. That's the point that I'm trying to make.
Yeah, you can't have the guys that are averaging, 10 or 12 points a game all of a sudden have 2.
Right.
You know, everybody's got to pull their weight.
Yes.
But they're a pretty balanced team.
Yep.
You know, McGowan, he's kind of the, we don't want to say star, right? But
sure.
he's kind of the big name you look at when Rose walks into the building. But up and down the lineup, they're a pretty deep team, so they can compete with anybody they play. I have no doubt.
One young man that we have not seen, if you look at Rose-Hulman in the last few games, and that is Isaac Farnsworth. And the first thing that I did when I got here to the gymnasium while Rose-Hulman was warming up, I put my eyes on what would be the west. I had to think about it. The west end of Holbert Arena, searching for Isaac Farnsworth. And I did find him. It's good to see him in uniform, warming up, expecting to see him playing tonight. Rose-Hulman, when he's not on the floor, whether it be because of foul trouble or because of injury, his presence is missed.
Yeah, it really is. He's 6'3". I think he's a junior. Yeah, from Auburn, Indiana. And, yeah, he's kind of one of those guys you feel like, I don't know if they have captains, but he kind of might be one if they did, Sure. He's a leader on the floor, and he plays a big role with this Rose-Hulman team. Yeah,
his defensive prowess, a lot of times he picks up the, other teams, one of their leading scorers, if not the leading scorer, depending on what the position the individual plays. But, man, you really need him out there anchoring your defense. Him staying out of foul trouble sometimes has been a challenge. He's a very emotional player, which is good and also bad. So that's one thing that if he can harness that energy and make sure that he can stay out of foul trouble, stay on the floor, maybe log 28 to 32 minutes in a ball game, I put Rose-Hulman right there with anybody.
Yeah, and that's one of those things. You got to keep your emotions in check. You can't let it get the best of you. We see it in high school games all the time. It's part of the growing process.
It is.
You would hope the high school coaches can kind of rein that in. In college, you got to get rid of it. You got to be able to control yourself. Even keel. That's the way you want to be really in any sport. But basketball, it can be an emotional sport.
Absolutely.
And you get a crowd like we've got tonight. Rose-Hulman's going to be feeling that intensity. You can bet.
Good crowd on hand tonight for Rose-Hulman and Wabash, the Holbert Arena. It's community night. Rose-Hulman. The students are on break, vacation, however you want to. If you ask my daughter, it is Christmas vacation, 1,000%, not Christmas break. But the students getting a little respite from their studies, hopefully getting some home cooking and some of families' love and support and just recharging your batteries. I know the players of Rose-Hulman after tonight will get a little bit of a break and be able to hopefully all of them will be able to go home to various locations and get the same thing and come back for, as you mentioned, the meat of conference season.
Yeah, you hope they can come back kind of refreshed and re-energized and ready to roll. Want to thank everybody out there watching. A happy holiday season as well. I know I have 2 little ones at home who are more than ready for the big day.
Absolutely. Just so much excitement in the air, and we'll be glad to, a lot of parents will be glad when it's over with. It can bring a little stress, but hopefully we all remember the reason for the season and just enjoy family and friends and loved ones, and and just enjoy the season. We'll take a last break in our pregame show. Come back and give you starters and tip right after this.
Treatment for those with mental illnesses and addiction issues has evolved over the years.
In the late 1960s, Indiana's mental health system began to take shape.
From 1971
to 2021,
Hamilton Center has touched the lives of thousands of people in central and west central Indiana.
We are committed to the latest therapies
to improve the quality of life for those with mental illnesses.
Treatment works.
Recovery is possible.
And thank you, Indiana.
Today's vehicles often require additional procedures such as computer scans for even simple repairs. This ensures that your crash avoidance system and distance sensors are functioning properly.
At Honey Creek Collision, we invest in the latest equipment and technology and provide continuing education for our technicians to ensure a high quality and safe repair.
Honey Creek Collision is a second-generation, family-owned and operated business that you can trust.
So when your insurance company asks, tell them you're going to Honey Creek Collision.
I'm all-pro running back Jonathan Taylor for York Automotive. York is my #1 pick for your next car, truck, or SUV. Shop from over 600 vehicles at YorkAutomotive.com today.
You're #1 at York.
You're watching College Sports on the Indiana Sports Network, presented by the Indiana Army National Guard. You're watching Rose-Hulman men's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
Some say that our...
And we'll have the introduction of the starting lineups.
And now let's get the starting lineups for today's game. First representing Wabash College Little Giants. At guard #2, Vinny Busilla.
Vinny Busilla. Idris Redmond. Sam Comer. Amani Jones. And who was the last one? Oh, Gavin Shipper. And the starting 5 for the Engineers of Rose-Hulman. Looking to start a win streak here tonight. Bradley Harden. The junior from Alexandria, Virginia. And Max Chaplin, a senior from Carmel, Indiana. Miles McGowan, who's a 6'7" sophomore from Indianapolis. Number 44, Simon Blair, a sophomore from Wagoner, Oklahoma. And the man that I'm so glad to see, Isaac Farnworth, a 6'3" junior from Auburn, Indiana. So for the Little Giants, Busilla, Redmond, Comer, Jones, and Shippert. For the Engineers, Harden, Chaplin, McGowan, Blair, and Farnsworth. I want to thank our sponsors for tonight's game. Of course, the Indiana Army National Guard, our presenting sponsor. Also, Culver's Great Dane, Hamilton Center, Honey Creek Collision Center, Lynn's Pharmacy, Mossy Oak Properties, Riddell National Bank, and York Automotive. York has a styling and profiling a sweet Toyota tonight. Saw that pull when I pulled up. I'm like, ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, I thought something was different out
there.
Yeah. Rolled in.
Engineers with the ball to start the game in their home whites. Nice little drop step. McGowan lost it, tries to compose himself. Has time and the size and gets the first 2 of the night.
Excellent recovery there by McGowan as he lost the ball for a second, but stayed patient.
Engineers, the one thing that worries me, the matchups on the defensive end. The Engineers do have size as they get the defensive board and the kick out. But trying to guard the cutting, the spacing of Wabash is going to be tough at times, potentially. You can't fall asleep.
I think it will for sure. The Engineers haven't defended the three very well as we see a turnover. That's been kind of their bugaboo the last month or so. They've really been beat from beyond the arc. Wabash, not a huge three-point team, so maybe they can put their focus elsewhere.
Nice drive, a strong take by Sam Comer, 6'5" junior from Danville, Indiana. Of course, Danville, a very fine program. Harden needing help. Very sticky man-to-man defense by the Little Giants. Here comes McGowan once again. Too many dribbles, got to kick the ball out. Blair tips it out of bounds. It's going to go the other way. Sometimes you have to know if you dribble the ball several times, you pump fake a couple of times, you still don't have the advantage. Kick it out, reset.
Yeah, kind of a forced shot there. Almost went, but couldn't quite get the roll, and now Wabash looking to take command.
2-2 score early in the game, almost 2 minutes in. Great spacing by the Little Giants. You expect to see that. Comer gets it down to Jones. Jones looks baseline, cut off by Farnsworth. Farnsworth, you would think, draws one of the tougher assignments that he does. Those Engineers steal the ball away and out on the break. Farnsworth spots up for three. His shot is no good. A tap out by Blair is into the hands of the Little Giants.
Real scrappy on defense so far for the Engineers.
You have to see that as well. Stripped by Harden. That's the second time he stripped the ball away tonight. Here come the Engineers. Harden puts on the Jets, then the breaks. Step back, no good. Blair underneath. Pause it and scores it. 4-2 Engineers.
Sometimes something ugly will lead to something pretty there. That was a kind of a off balance, not a great shot for Chaplin.
Nearing 3 minutes into the contest. Shot clock down to 5. A spin, an elbow jumper is pure by Busilla.
Both of these teams look pretty set on penetrating here early. Not much, even a thought to going into the shots from behind the arc.
Great defense on Harden. Blair's in the corner, looks for a cutter. Chaplin, step back. Yes, sir.
It was a great job by Chaplin. Created a little space, got himself set, knocked down the jumper.
He needed that space. You love the defense that is being displayed out here tonight thus far. Oh, a bump. And an offensive foul. I wondered if we would get that. Atrice Redmond, the junior from Indianapolis, went to Chittard, extended that chicken wing ever so slightly. Could have got away with it if it wasn't 3 feet in front of the official.
Yeah, picked the wrong place to do that.
Yeah. Hicks, Bowman in the game, as also coming in the game, did you say number 20?
22, yeah. It's Avery Beaver.
Okay, Avery Beaver, 22 in the game for the Little Giants. 6-4 Engineers. Harden on the stutter step, looking for a cutter, couldn't find anyone because no one cut.
There's one.
Yeah. Shot clock down to 8. Harden, the screen. Got to make it happen. Uses the body contact of Sam Comer to push himself back for a little space.
A lot of patience so far for the Engineers on the offensive end, kind of finding their shot, and so far so good.
Offensive efficiency. The story of the night thus far for the Engineers with a 4-point lead. Jones Kicks it out. Good defense by Hicks on him.
Got to get something up.
Down to 2. Shot up, no good with Chaplin to rebound.
Really impressed with Rose-Hulman's defensive effort so far. They're really frustrating Wabash.
McGowan on the quick move. Underneath the basket, no. Got it on the rebound. Pivots, no. Hicks crashes, no. Comer clears. You like the intensity the game has already, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, a strip again. Bowman has it. Hicks, 17-footer, up and good. Terry Hicks off the bench, the senior. Been a starter the majority of his career, but injuries, I think, is what has him on the bench right now. Is not 100%. He's battled some various injuries. I think the latest, maybe a back. Gavin Shippert, the 6'7" freshman from Evansville, cans a 3 at the top of the key. 10-7 Engineers.
Yeah, we remember Hicks last year. He was kind of the head guy for Rose-Hulman.
Yep.
And he's been able to take a step back. As you mentioned, injuries have kind of affected him a little bit.
Hicks sets a good screen. Harden did a great job using it. Another good screen. Yeah, there's a defensive foul there. Trying to get around the screen of Miles McGowan was tough for Busilla. He gets called for a foul. Thought we were going to have a media timeout, but nope, we play on.
One thing that's interesting to watch is Gavin Shippert's jump shot. He kind of leans forward when he's popping the 3. It's a different kind of shot, but hey, it seems to be working.
Harden still controlling the point for the Engineers. Getting a nice run here to start the game. Chaplin looks. Good defense once again by McCorkle. Bowman, the step back deep in the shot clock, had to put it up. Blair the rebound. Harden the 3. No. And Blair the foul. Going to go the other way. That's going to be the first team foul on the Engineers.
Rose-Hulman just a 32% three-point shooting team. It's been a bit of a struggle back there this year, but
yes,
you got to keep taking your shots, you know.
When you have an open shot, you got to, the offense a lot of times, will be better if you shoot it. In the first time, Kobe Stoudemire for the Engineers. Beaver, the penetration, the dish down low to Comer. Great find.
Yeah, Hicks kind of lost track of his man there, and that was a real good find. Easy bucket for the Little Giants.
Good job by Blair to get the seal early. Bad job by Rose-Hulman not to find him. On the offensive board, how about Bowman?
Followed his own shot and found himself wide open for a layup.
Coach Nick Sales in his first year, head coach at the Engineers of Rose-Hulman, was an assistant at Marietta College down in Georgia for a number of years. Wild success.
Another strip.
Another strip. Wild success down in Marietta. Coach Sales had on that staff. A quick 3, no good. Down with the rebound is Avery Beaver. A lot of Indiana products up and down these rosters. You typically would expect that with Wabash, but Rose-Hulman, has a lot. Oh, a little shake and bake there to the cup. Styles, McCorkle. We're going to get 2 free throws, I think, because the way he put his defender on his tush. You like his first name being Styles.
Styles, yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Tell you what, Simon Blair playing really tough inside tonight so far. He's really controlled the glass for the Engineers.
Free throws good. Zachary Jackson going to come in the game for the first time here tonight. It's a senior from Franklin, Tennessee. Both free throws good in a little token pressure. Stoudemire with the ball right now. Very impressive freshman, having a great start to his career here at Rose-Hulman.
With a name like Kobe Stoudemire.
Yeah, man.
That's hard to live up to that,
That's right. Rose-Hulman looking to get into some offense, looking a little disjointed on this possession. Shot clock down to 9. Bowman, top of the key, no good. Usually that goes down, but they get another possession.
Yeah, and I'm not sure Coach Brummett's real happy with his rebounding right now. 2 men in there. Hicks came down with it. Foul on a 3.
Yeah, I'm not going to be happy about that one either. The foul's going to go against Turner Royal. Royal, a 6'1" junior from Bloomfield. People around here, around the Wabash Valley area, do remember Turner Royal from Bloomfield. Bloomfield having another resurgence. You know, you look at what they've been the last several years and looking good once again this year. Bowman, 1 of 2 thus far. For the first time in tonight, Vuk Jarrett. And one of the crowd favorites when you look at
It was here the reign of Vuk.
Oh, I'm telling you. That's just such a nice guy. I'm telling you, I really like him.
He's one of the tallest guys on the team at 6'7".
A couple free throws made, 14 to 11, 11:30 to go here in the first half. I like to call it the first quarter. End of the first quarter is what I like to say.
You like quarters better than
I like
halves, too?
quarters. I do. Everybody in the world plays quarters except college men's basketball. I don't understand.
We need to get with it.
Let's get with the times here. Pump fake. Nice little dump down low in the paint. A strong move by Champ McCorkle.
That's a name right there.
Yeah, it is.
I'll tell you what, he's got the Sock of the Night award down there too. He's going old school with it.
I like it, man. I didn't catch that. I like that. A nice draw. Stoudemire almost traveled, got his pivot foot down to Jurich, who gets the assist from Jackson. 16-13. Engineers up a tray.
Real good ball movement there. Stoudemire got himself in a little bit of trouble. Found Jackson. Jackson on the baseline found Jurich.
Wow. Offensive foul there, and one that really maybe didn't need. Champ McCorkle picks up his first. Wabash shooting 55, almost 56% so far on the evening. Rose-Hulman shooting 41.
I'd like to let everybody know we've been informed the server's down here at Rose, so we can't get our scoreboard up on there, so we'll try to update you as much as we can.
Hicks looking for a drive. Oh boy, it's a strong take, but even stronger defense. Great body by Imani Jones. Hicks could not go through him. Here comes Redmond. Busella. Shippert. Rose bench wants to travel. 9 on the shot clock. Redmond thought about a 3. Wabash offense got a step back by Jones off the front iron. Here comes Bowman.
Whoa.
Tough pass there. Oh, but Rose-Hulman somehow finds a way to salvage the possession. Stoudemire, as every point guard should, come and get the ball to start the offense. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Not much room to work with. Stoudemire, the drive, the stop. Jurich, underneath the basket, gets fouled. He'll get 2 free throws at the end of the shot clock.
Tell you what, Rose-Hulman doing a good job on defense of kind of looking out for each other. Vuk got himself in trouble down there, but Jackson right there to back him up.
And the pronunciation of his last name, his dad coached me up. I'm going to try to get it right. It's really Juricha.
Juricha?
That's not exactly right. But the accent at the end is with the. Oh, man.
So we're butchering it.
It's not Jurich.
Okay.
That's The Americanized pronunciation would be Zurich.
We'll just call him Vuk.
But definitely in his native land of Serbia, it is not Zurich. I believe it's Zurich. But and his dad put a little something extra on the end that I just can't get it. I
can't make yourself do it, huh?
I've been trying. You would think by now, I think maybe a freshman or sophomore year, his mom made us some nice baked goods and brought it to us here. So I should have had this mastered by now, but I still fumble over it. Nice presentation in the post. The left hand is up and good. He gets the foul. Just too much size down there for the Little Giants tonight.
Yeah, Vuk's fired up after that one. Let's see if he can connect on the three-point play. He's just 2 of 15 from the line so far this year, so that is kind of the weak point for Vuk.
And just missed 2 a moment ago, so like you mentioned, trying to redeem himself here. Vuk, a very emotional player. You love the emotion that he brings to the court on a night-in, night-out basis. Concentration was heavy, just couldn't quite knock it down. 19-13, excuse me, 18-13, I'm sorry. Rose-Hulman up 5, just under 9 minutes to go first half. Redmond looking for a crease. Has it! Left-hander off the glass.
Good job sealing off Vuk down there by Gavin Shippert. He just took him completely out of the play and opened up the lane.
Hicks looking. Boy, Vuk has a mismatch there. He's calling for the ball. He's begging for the ball.
There they see.
Find him. Chaplin takes a wild one, and it was tipped. Vuk got the offensive rebound, couldn't power through. Here comes Redmond.
When Chaplin drives down there, you know, he took 2 defenders with him and made a lot more traffic than there needed to be for that entry pass.
Redmond, corner 3, short. Farnsworth the board. Looking down, oh boy, good defense. Great on-ball pressure by Redmond to make it hard to enter the post. Needed cutter. Offense a little stagnant the last few moments, and the spacing not good. Hicks has to get one up. Off the glass, no. Good job by Jurich not to commit the foul on the over the back, but in Farnsworth's attempt to get the rebound, he crashed into a Little Giant and commits a foul. Team foul number 4.
Yeah, Rose, they seem to be, you know, they started the game really well. A lot of patience on offense. Now they kind of seem to be settling for some awkward jump shots here and see if they can get back in the groove.
Tip. That's got to be a second or third steal. Nice lead ahead pass from McGowan. Oh, could not stay in bounds. As I'm telling you what, Bradley Harden, I think that's his 3rd steal of the night. He is wreaking so much havoc defensively for the Engineers.
Harden does lead the team in steals coming into this one.
Ticking down to 7 minutes to go in the half. A low-scoring affair. The Little Giants and the Engineers. Jones pump fakes. Nothing doing. Wisely passed the ball. It's going to be off Wabash. Oh, I thought that was last touch by Sam Comer, but obviously I'm wrong.
Farnsworth threw that big right hand up there and swatted at it. I kind of thought Wabash might have nicked it on the way out.
Yeah, that's what I thought. 5 on the shot clock. Redmond down the paint with the contact and the bucket. Idris Redmond has an opportunity to tie the score at 18 if he makes this free throw.
Yeah, you get the vibe that this is going to be one of those games where every possession matters.
Isn't it always that way when it's a Rose-Hulman game? It seems like.
What was it? The last 72 meetings, I think they've split 36 and 36.
Yes, they have. Hits all of the rim and the glass as well. Redmond completes the 3-point play, tied at 18. 6:45 to go first half.
Rose has won the last 2 matchups here in the Holbert Arena, though.
Chaplin Almost traveled. The step back three, no good. Repping the board. Chaplin is not able to find the mark quite yet. Love to see him get to the free throw line. Step out three is pure. Great job by Styles McCorkle in the fluorescent shoes. Farnsworth thinks about it. Wisely drives. Oh, he should have kept going to the basket. He had the advantage. Could have probably gotten a foul there if he would have gone up. Would not have been able to be stopped. Comer. Mano a mano, and Farnsworth says, not quite so, young man. Down to 15 on the shot. Busilla. Great double team. Oh, boy, McCorkle, another three.
Boy, they got to quit leaving him alone.
In a timeout by Coach Sales, 24-18, a quick 6-0 run by Wabash. We'll be right back.
Some say that our approach to selling wooded ground is crazy. I prefer to think that we're nuts.
Beech.
Walnut.
White oak.
Hickory. We feel having an agent who is nuts about your property helps us attract more customers, making us, well, poplar.
For all your Indiana land needs, check us out at indianalandandlifestyle.com.
There was a time when your local pharmacy defined your community. Before the days of long lines and drive-through national chains, pharmacists gave your health personal attention, and you always met with a familiar face. Back then, your questions were always answered, even when you forgot to ask. In Brazil, Indiana, that friendly local pharmacy has always been Lynn's Pharmacy since 1872. We are a modern pharmacy with the latest technology, still deliver that old-fashioned, friendly personal service today. Experience the tradition with your family at Lynn's Pharmacy in downtown Brazil.
This game is presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
A tight one tonight, 24-18 on two back-to-back threes by McCorkle. And Coach Sales wanted a timeout to discuss that with his boys.
Yeah, he had quite the earful there for Simon Blair when they got to the sideline. 2 straight possessions, they leave McCorkle wide open. He is too good a shooter to be doing that as Wabash is on an 11-0 run.
Of course, McCorkle, a 6'6" sophomore, went to Greenwood Christian.
Wabash shooting lights out so far, 56%.
And that's with decent defense by the Engineers. Oh, it's a tough one there with the matchup with McGowan getting the foul on McCorkle. And that's one of the things that you do, and I like the set coming out of that timeout. Coach Sales says, okay, this is a guy that is hot right now. Let's go at him and make him play defense. There
you go. Try to wear him down a little bit, you know.
Kind of like, oh boy, another missed free throw for Rose-Hulman. It's right now 2 for 7 from the charity stripe. Kind of like for boxing, you want to go to the body, get those body blows, especially early. Rose-Hulman going to the painted area. It's kind of like those body blows in boxing. Going to the paint, maybe trying to wear down your defendant.
And I think that could be pretty effective against the Little Giants tonight. I'd like to see him keep doing it. Go down there to Jurich and
the one thing, of course, 3 is more than 2. Not that the Little Giants are going to shoot 43s tonight. Oh, you got to find McCorkle. A late closeout again. He just missed it that time. A foul on the floor. But the closeout, it was just a little bit late still. He had a great look.
Yeah, that's three straight possessions now. 3 out of 4 where he's had just an excellent shot. They've got to quit leaving him beyond the perimeter out there.
It's a tough cover for McGowan. Nice drive. Left-hand layup is good by Busilla.
Yeah, he got to step on Chaplin and beat him all the way to the hoop.
26-19. 4:35 to go first half. Engineers' largest deficit of the night Bowman, a nice closeout on him. McGowan trying to power through, gets the offensive board. When these engineers get the ball in the post, they're going to have to make a quick move.
Yeah, they really are. Wabash, like I said, they're very patient, and they're trained up pretty well down there. So not going to see a lot of mistakes defensively from
A
them.
nice move by McCorkle. The pump fake on the three, a couple of times to the deck, and a pass for an easy deuce for his teammate. You get it going from the outside, all of a sudden your defender has to respect that. Oh my. Errant pass by Harden looking for Jurich. Here come Little Giants. Transition, didn't find it. McCorkle swinged it to Basilla. They got Rose-Hulman hopping all over the place. A missed three by Redmond.
There we go.
Very lucky. Here comes Bowman down the floor. He couldn't get the layup to go. Oh, you got to get on those transition opportunities right there if you're Rose-Hulman. Low contact, couldn't absorb it. Here comes Comer. Top of the key, Basilla. Another three. That is three-point hit number 4. They're 4 for 10 from distance. Another timeout by Coach Sales. 10-point lead Wabash. We'll be right back.
We're the Browns, and this is our account. Our relationship with Riddell really began when we were kids, so when we started our business, it seemed like a natural fit for us.
Riddell's provided all of our financial needs for both personal and business, and we could not be happier with the level of service that we're provided.
Riddell National Bank has helped us grow our business so that we can help grow our communities with the core values that we both share. If you're looking to grow your business, Riddell is your best option.
This game is presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
What a run by Wabash here. A 15-0 run in the last 1 minute and 11 seconds. Is that right? I'm looking at that's what maybe. Hopefully that's 5-0. It looks like a 15. Like,
it's taking longer than that.
Maybe it was a 5-0 run. But there is something in front of that 5. I can tell you that. I'm not blind, even though Tony Harper would like to say that I am. Hicks looking. Oh, it's a great defense. Oh, boy.
Got him on the arm just a little bit.
I thought that was pretty decent defense by Jones as the 6'4" junior from Indianapolis Pike will send Hicks to the line.
Boy, if you're Rose, you really got to stop the bleeding here.
You have to.
This is,
yep.
They've kind of hit panic mode.
Oh, another missed free throw.
Yeah, that's 3 of 9 now.
Well, you think about it, 2 McCorkle threes, the Basilla 3, that's 9. Boy, that it might have been what it says there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and there's another one. Oh boy, another 3 there by Beaver, and man, Wabash is red hot.
This is what we talked about. Rose-Hulman has really struggled closing out from beyond the arc.
Well, here's to me, I'm not a coach, but when I see these lineups like Wabash, maybe like Hanover, teams that spread you out, don't necessarily have a traditional big man, and will cut in space, maybe shoot threes. So like Wabash doesn't shoot a whole lot of threes like Hanover does, and like some of the other teams do. Those lineups really worry me because Rose-Hulman often plays a two big man like McGowan and Blair at the same time. Against a team like this, that's not going to cut it.
Yeah, you know, it's noticeable the last few games now. Like, this is how teams are going to attack the Engineers, and it's working. I mean, Wabash is proof of it right here.
That's just the makeup of a lot of these teams as well. When you look at, you know, a lot of space, the systems where you space you out. You're going to shoot from the outside. They're going to cut you to death. Oh, boy, it could have been a travel there. As a Rose-Hulman, I do like the defensive pressure, trying to change things up. And got a turnover. Now, can you capitalize in transition? Bowman Rose-Hulman down 10 at the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes ago in the first half. Cross court, skip past the Bowman. That had to go, and it did. Big bucket right there by Bowman.
Boy, it's got to feel good for him to see one go through the net. He's really struggled tonight so far.
For any engineer to see one go through the net. That's the first three-point hit of the night.
Hey.
Top of the key, Beaver. Oh, he missed it.
Got to make him pay for it now.
Yep. Couple of scores, couple of stops will be big here at the end of the half. Here comes Hicks from 17. Down to 13 on the shot clock. McGowan on the screen. Oh, it's nothing after that screen and roll. You had absolutely nothing. But Bradley Harden was able to make it count with a bucket from the elbow.
Rose has drugged himself back into this thing, only down by 5. So see if they can chip a little bit more away at this lead in the final minute.
A stop here would be big. Down to 11 on the shot clock. In the paint. Could have been contact there. Wabash fans asking for contact, and I don't blame them.
Now, there was a lot down there, but, you know, the offensive player was kind of leaning into him. Whoa. Got away with one there.
Hicks on the block. Tried to get through Jones. Couldn't do it. Wabash could almost hold for the last possession. Here comes Comer.
I'd like to see the ref keep an eye on Champ McCorkle down there because he is shoving Max Chaplin all over the place.
Well, you know, Max is going to have to get a little physical back if that's the case. Sometimes you got to meet force with force. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Jones with a tough ball in an offensive board. Ball tipped away. Down to 2. Down to 1. Chaplin. No, off the front iron. 29 points are what the Engineers are held to in half number 1. Wabash best them by 5, 34-29. The Engineers going to the halftime break with the deficit again this season, and we'll have to see in the second half the resolve that they have to battle back. We'll step aside for a break, come back with halftime stats and analysis. You're watching Rose-Hulman basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
Your All-Pro running back Jonathan Taylor here for York Automotive. Looking for an All-Pro deal on your next car, truck, or SUV? York is my #1 pick. With over 600 vehicles in stock, York has the largest selection to meet your needs. We're talking new, pre-owned, and commercial vehicles. Take it from one All-Pro to another, York has your best deal.
Shop online at yorkautomotive.com and we'll show you why we're not #1, you are.
We're not #1. You are. You're #1 at York.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives and led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
It's time for the halftime report on the Indiana Sports Network.
Well, the Engineers found themselves on the struggle bus for about 10 minutes of that first half, Troy, and Wabash really took advantage. A 34-29 advantage Wabash has at the half. At one point, Wabash was up right around, 10, 11 points?
Yeah.
As Rose found themselves back in this game, but they're having to fight really hard for everything they get.
Yeah, they really are. A few scrap buckets there at the end got them back in this thing. But Wabash started kind of slow, and boy, once they started hitting a couple perimeter shots, the Rose defense fell apart a little bit. And we're seeing the Little Giants get a lot of penetration, Not really finishing, though. Rose-Hulman has forced 7 turnovers, so that's a positive. You know, you'd like to keep that trend going. But offensively, the Engineers a little stagnant, kind of settling for some ugly shots, and rebounding's pretty even, so you're good with that. But boy, oh boy, you feel like if it keeps going like this, Wabash in pretty good shape.
With especially the spurts that Wabash was able to go on, it was like 2-3 good looks in a row, and you have some guys that were able to find some really open looks, a lot of space, and boy, that's kind of troubling for the Rose-Hulman defensive effort. As you mentioned, it started off so well, but just the matchups on the floor. You have people like McGowan chasing 3-point shooters and Juris chasing 3-point shooters. It makes it a little tougher. No excuse, but it makes it a little tougher, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's exactly what you were talking about. You know, they've got a little bit different team dynamic than a lot of the teams they're playing right now.
Right.
Hanover was a perfect example of that. As you said, when you have a team that's going to spread you out like that, they could be in some trouble. So they're going to have to figure out a way to work through that and cover off the perimeter shots, because it is absolutely killing them right now. Really, their last 2 losses, you could point to that. Tonight it's happening again, and you've got to figure out an answer to that real quick, because you're getting into conference play now after this one. So.
Part of that's matchups, part of that's personnel, and piecing some guys together and finding that, who's going to be able to stay in front of the man. When you're playing a team like Wabash, if you get beat off the dribble, your defense is shattered. That's the same most teams that you play, but boy, this Wabash has them spread so beautifully. They use all the floor. You just love to see that.
Yeah, and it's, there's a reason Wabash went to the Final Four last year. As we mentioned, they're very well coached, and this is a team, they live for the second half of these games, and they are really tough on the road. Just their 3rd road game of the year, they won 1 of them. The last one, they lost by 1 point at Ohio Wesleyan. So, home, road, neutral, it doesn't matter to them. They're going to play the same way.
34-29, your score at halftime. We'll take our first break of our halftime show. Come back with more. You're watching Rose-Hulman basketball.
Some say that our approach to selling wooded ground is crazy. I prefer to think that we're nuts.
Beech.
Walnut.
White oak.
Hickory.
We feel having an agent who is nuts about your property helps us attract more customers, making us, poplar.
For all your Indiana land needs, check us out at indianalandandlifestyle.com.
There was a time when your local pharmacy defined your community. Before the days of long lines and drive-through national chains, pharmacists gave your health personal attention, and you always met with a familiar face. Back then, your questions were always answered, even when you forgot to ask. In Brazil, Indiana, that friendly local pharmacy has always been Lynn's Pharmacy since 1872. We are a modern pharmacy with the latest technology, still deliver that old-fashioned, friendly personal service today. Experience the tradition with your family at Lynn's Pharmacy in downtown Brazil.
This program is a copyrighted production of Indiana Sports Network and cannot be shown, reproduced, or redistributed in any way or in any form without prior written permission from Indiana Sports Network.
We're the Browns, and this is our account. Our relationship with Riddell really began when we were kids, so when we started our business, it seemed like a natural fit for us.
Riddell's provided all of our financial needs for both personal and business, and we could not be happier with the level of service that we're provided.
Riddell National Bank has helped us grow our business so that we can help grow our communities with the core values that we both share. If you're looking to grow your business, Riddell is your best option.
Your All-Pro running back Jonathan Taylor here for York Automotive. Looking for an All-Pro deal on your next car, truck, or SUV? York is my #1 pick. With over 600 vehicles in stock, York has the largest selection to meet your needs. We're talking new, pre-owned, and commercial vehicles. Take it from one All-Pro to another, York has your best deal.
Shop online at yorkautomotive.com and we'll show you why we're not #1, you are.
We're not #1.
You are.
You're #1 at York.
This game is presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
Welcome back to the Holbert Arena in Terre Haute, Indiana, where we are at halftime. It's a 34-29 Wabash lead over Rose-Hulman on community night here in Terre Haute. So far, the fans have been treated to a pretty good one, but Wabash certainly has the measure of the Engineers so far. Quick look at some of the stats here in the first half. The leading scorers for Wabash, Styles McCorkle's hit 2 3-pointers. He has 8 overall. Vinny Buccila with 7, Adrice Redmond 5, and Gavin Shippert also has 5 points for Rose-Hulman. Miles McGowan and Willie Bowman both with 7. Bradley Harden with 4, and Vuk Juric also has 4. Leading rebounders for Rose, McGowan also with 4, Juric with 3. Simon Blair and Max Chaplin also have 3. Rebounds are tied 17-17 between Rose and Wabash so far, so really no advantage gained there. Defensively, Rose-Hulman started really well, but boy, they got a little sloppy there in the second half, in the second 10 minutes, I guess, and Wabash kind of exploited some things that Rose is weaker at, and got off to a big lead. I think it was 11 at one point. Rose able to chip that down to 5. Anyway, the leading rebounder for Wabash is Sam Comer. He has 6. He's the overall leading rebounder of the night. Assist leaders, Avery Beaver and Styles McCorkle, both with 2. Rose-Hulman, McGowan, Blair, Hicks, and Jackson all with 1. So overall, Isaac Farnsworth also has a block tonight. So overall tonight, Rose-Hulman struggled a bit there in the second part of the first half, but let's hope they can adapt a little bit, as certainly the perimeter shooting has been pretty bad for Rose, just 1 of 7 so far. For Wabash, on the other hand, I believe they're 3 out of 8, 4 out of 8. So the three-pointer once again hurting the Engineers here tonight. But as we mentioned, this is the first of 4 consecutive home games for Rose-Hulman, as this is the final game of 2022 for the Fighting Engineers. They will come back at us on January 4th here against Franklin. The 7th, they host Bluffton, and then they have an evening matchup on the 11th with Manchester. So, you know, as we said in the pregame show, this is a big one tonight against the in-state rival Wabash. Certainly a team that was very successful last season. It'd be a really good win if the Engineers could pull it off, but it would also get some momentum going into the second half of the season when the HCAC conference really heats up. Rose-Hulman currently 4th in the HCAC with a 2-2 record. Still 2 undefeateds in Heartland Conference play. That's Manchester and Anderson. We're going to take one more quick halftime break here, and then we'll come back to you. You're watching Rose-Hulman basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
If somebody's kind of on the fence of going into a recruiting office or just reaching out to a recruiter, I would absolutely encourage it, if anything, just for the information.
We have a lot of enlistment bonuses out there right now, upwards to about $20,000. If you're in college or you plan to be to college, this is a great choice for you, because our organization, we look for students who want to go to college. We also have educational benefits where we pay up to 100% of.
There is a greatness inside of you, a passion, a strength, a determination. So embrace it. Embrace the greatness that you bring to everything you do. Embrace the idea that you can do work that makes an impact, work that keeps the country moving forward and our economy strong. Because not everyone has what you have. And that's exactly what connects you to all of us at Great Dane. There's greatness inside of you. Are you ready to embrace it?
When my family opened the first Culver's in Sauk City, Wisconsin, you know what we did? We gave it our all, making sure everyone felt welcome, sharing our favorite foods from around the state, like Butterburgers and fresh frozen custard, greeting every guest with all our heart, crafting each meal with care. Believing a smile makes everything taste better. And it's a tradition we bring with us yet today, from our hometown to yours. Welcome to Delicious.
You're watching College Sports on the Indiana Sports Network, presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
And 34-29 at halftime, Troy, as you went through the stats. Boys, kind of feast or famine. It seems like it's a feast for Wabash, especially the last 10 minutes or so, and famine for Rose-Hulman the whole half from beyond the three-point line. And if we're going to get back in this game, they're going to have to hit some shots.
Yeah, they really are. And as you mentioned, Wabash, boy, once they got rolling, they were hard to stop for the Engineers. Really, we were talking up Rose-Hulman's defense pretty good there, and they played really well for about 10 or 12 minutes. But once Wabash, spread them out, then things got weaker inside as well and opened up some easy opportunities for the Little Giants. But, you got to adapt. You always have to adapt at halftime. And we'll see what Rose is made of here in the second half.
You always love to see the halftime adjustments, the in-game adjustments, things of that nature. I like Coach Sales going to some full-court pressure.
Yeah.
Not sitting back in a half-court man when you're getting picked apart. I do like that. So one of the little wrinkles that that we already saw kind of led to a turnover, maybe two. So we'll see what else that Coach Sales has up his sleeve to kind of throw at Wabash.
Yeah, you always want to mix it up a little bit, and I'd say you come back out and the same thing, just pressure them. You've proven you can take the ball from them. They're turning the ball over tonight. That's not usually something that stops once you start doing it. So, but Rose-Hulman, they've taken care of the ball. They're just not really getting good looks on the offensive end. You really want to see the fundamentals get better. I mean, the free throw shooting has been pretty awful for Rose. I think just 6 of 12. And those are free points, man. You're just giving them away. So, if you've hit all your free throws, you're leading this game right now. So.
And when you look at Rose-Hulman, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't mind to see him go zone for some possessions to see. Yeah. I don't know how much zone, how good their zone is. But I wouldn't mind seeing that, even with Wabash hitting some threes. Water seems to find this level. Wabash shoots about 33-34% from three. Yep. So, you would think that mark's going to come down a little bit over time. We'll take our last break in our halftime show. Come back and get you for the second half. This Wabash and Rose-Hulman right after this.
Treatment for those with mental illnesses and addiction issues has evolved over the years.
In the late 1960s, Indiana's mental health system began to take shape.
From 1971
to 2021, Hamilton Center has touched the lives of thousands of people
in central and west central Indiana.
We are committed to the latest therapies
to improve the quality of life for those with mental illnesses.
Treatment works.
Recovery is possible.
And thank you, Indiana.
Today's vehicles often require additional procedures such as computer scans for even simple repairs. This ensures that your crash avoidance system and distance sensors are functioning properly.
At Honey Creek Collision, we invest in the latest equipment and technology and provide continuing education for our technicians to ensure a high quality and safe repair.
Honey Creek Collision is a second-generation, family-owned and operated business that you can trust.
So when your insurance company asks, tell them you're going to Honey Creek Collision.
This game is presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
Back for the second half as Wabash leads by 5. Rose-Hulman will start the game on defense. Wabash, look like both teams will come back with starters. So we'll see what Rose-Hulman has to say in the last 20 minutes, trying to get a home victory over Wabash. Man-to-man defense still being deployed by Rose-Hulman. Jones with 10. Gets by Blair off the glass. No, Farnsworth waits for his teammates.
Haven't heard a whole lot of Jones tonight. I mean, they've kept him fairly quiet.
Post entry tipped away by Wabash, and that was Busillo, got caught on McGowan. Rose-Hulman, I'm saying, when they get the ball on the post, they're going to have to be decisive and quick. Make a quick move. Here comes Harden with 10. Free throw line area short. Strong rebound by Jones. Redmond the push, gets in the body of Rose-Hulman, and a nice little dump off there to Shippert. Shippert's got another bucket.
It's a tough shot by Shippert in there. It was a nice little spin and got himself open. Rosa's got to answer early.
McGowan over his left shoulder. Really didn't even need to go to the bounce.
No, just get it and shoot, man.
Yeah,
like you said, the quicker the better.
Yeah.
So.
We have our scoreboard on our screen now, so things are looking up here. Low chicken wing again there by Idris Redmond was in the fray there. The official couldn't see that one. Here comes Farnsworth. Got hit. Couldn't get the three-point play. You see Terry Hicks over there. Believe it or not, he had nothing to do with the action. He's just stretching.
It's kind of an awkward background if you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, Hicks, when he's not on the floor, a lot of times you'll see him over there in the trainer's area stretching and trying to stay ready, stay limber.
So what do you think of the no media timeout thing? You like that?
Oh, yeah, let's move it along.
Quick.
I like it. I like it. But sometimes we do, sometimes we don't, so I wasn't quite sure. Farnsworth hits the pair. Yeah, I got no complaints, my friend. No complaints. More pressure in the backcourt by Rose-Hulman. A little trap there. Give you a little something to think about. Now you have to match up after that. Comer looks, oh boy.
Wide open.
He had Busilla.
Oh,
just a little wraparound pass. Looking for Shippert. And that is turnover number 8.
Yeah, Comer missed, was that Busilla down there?
Yep.
And then I think he tried to make up for it with a forced pass and yet another turnover.
Knock on wood, Rose-Hulman still with just 3 turnovers in the game. I hasten to even mention that, but I did.
Not at all the shot you're looking for there. That's
ball movement. Shippert on the block. Cross-court pass. They got Rose-Hulman looking all over the place. Redmond got contact. He couldn't hit the bucket, but the ball moved from side to side, had Rose-Hulman on skates.
Yeah, and once they get the pass, I mean, they're off and running again. And boy, Rose, you're right. They're just a little lost defensively at the moment.
It started with the ball movement at the top of the key. Jones got a pass at the top of the circle and moved it to the right wing very quickly. It got to the corner and then cross-court to Redmond, and Rose-Hulman just couldn't catch up. And so it all started with a great pass from Jones to start that sequence. 1 of 2 free throws made by Redmond.
Once you get a defense on its heels like that, you know, they're never going to catch up, so it's important to keep the ball moving.
Oh, Blair had a steal. Maybe didn't have a lot of advantage there. Rose-Hulman got to do a better job of hitting post entry. Harden on the drive. McGowan from 17 foot, he can hit that. Farnsworth tips it, gets his little rebound, loses out of bounds. And I mentioned the turnovers. So is that going to go down as a turnover? Probably shouldn't, but it might. We'll see. They still have 3 there. Farnsworth really trying to fight through some screens. There's some tough screens going on. Bodies flying all over the court. Shippert.
It's another one.
Lost the ball. Another turnover.
But Rose-Hulman is getting the opportunities, you know. They're getting the turnovers. They're getting the rebounds. They're just not taking advantage of it on the offensive end.
Yeah, Coach Brummett. Oh, and a tech on Farnsworth. I didn't even see that.
I think he's asking what I do.
Well.
That's what you said in the pregame.
Yes, it is.
Got to keep your emotions in check.
Yeah, I love Farnsworth. I love his emotion. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he said something. You know, I have no idea. So I don't want to condemn the young man. I'm not going to do that. But you just don't want to get technical. I do know that.
It's a bad thing.
Yeah. If it's going to find somebody, it's going to find Farnsworth is what I'm saying. Kind of like ISU and Cam Henry. Farnsworth on the drive. A strong drive. Looked for the contact. Didn't get it. Ball stays here. Let's see if Farnsworth can be smart but just raise his level. Haven't scored yet. Excuse me, no, he does have 2 free throws, but doesn't have a field goal. Looking to see a little more out of Farnsworth. Nice cut through the paint. Little shimmy off the front iron, no. And Wabash can't stay with it. Going to stay here on Rose-Hulman's end.
Well, they're hanging in, still only down by 7, but you're kind of messing with a sleeping giant here, no pun intended, but it's.
I like it.
You got to take advantage of these situations. There we go.
Miles McGowan with the little bucket there. Off the inbounds, fake the pass. Does that guy look like Sergio Garcia to you? Did you see him? He looks like Sergio Garcia.
He looked right at me when you said that. That was awkward.
Like, wow.
Yes, he does. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Anyway, I almost asked him for an autograph. 9 on the shot clock. Nice take by Jones. Wild on the attempt. Farnsworth squeezes it, and here we come. Down 5. Chaplin hasn't hit a field goal yet either, I don't believe. That was stripped away from him. Good job by Redmond. Got to stop ball, they do, but still in the corner. Vinny Busilla.
That all started with Redmond down there. He leads the team in steals, and he's got those quick hands.
Harden, the step back three, and he hits. And a quick timeout by Coach Sales. 43-38. We'll be right back.
At Indiana Land and Livestock, we do a great depth to list and sell your property. If your agent isn't willing to go to these depths,
6 acres with bass,
to list and sell your property, don't you think that's a little fishy?
and there's fish everywhere. Oh! And snapping turtle!
For all your Indiana land needs, check us out at indianalandandlifestyle.com.
Oh, that's good.
You're watching College Sports on the Indiana Sports Network, presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
Well, Rose-Hulman was down 5 at the break. They're still down 5. The good thing is that Rose-Hulman only took 5 minutes to hit a 3, where they hit 1 in the first 20 minutes of the game. So let's see if we kind of stretch it out from distance a little bit and get back to this ball game. The defense, as you talked about, Troy, has been not bad. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Again.
Yeah, there's McCorkle.
Boy, they got a huge 3 down here, and then they give it right back.
Bowman, no, the tip. Regains possession for Rose-Hulman. Jackson on the move, the up and under, no, didn't have the angle. Didn't quite have the angle for that one. Jackson, one of the speedier engineers. I like to see him going downhill, though, just like he was. Comer cut off. Here comes Jackson. Oh, a foul. Oh. He got in the passing lane, called for the foul. The Rose-Hulman bench erupts in disgust. I love the boos here tonight. How about that? Fans really into it.
Need to have more community nights.
Yes, we do. It's a great crowd, isn't it? Gave away some food and snacks.
I think after the game, they're letting all the kids go down there and meet the players and stuff. That'll be really cool.
That's right. See you, Brock. Drive, cut off. Ball on the deck. All says our players. Beaver, the step back, Jack. Oh! Avery Beaver, that's his second 3 of the night, I do believe.
Got the lefty dagger there. That was a huge 3. Now a double-digit lead for the Little Giants.
Just like that, and almost a turnover. Jurich Tracks it down in the corner. Got to move the ball. Bowman is stuck in the corner. Down to 5 with the shot clock. Nowhere to go. Throws one up. And mercifully, it goes in. Wow. A hope and a prayer.
Yeah. Sometimes prayers are answered, I guess.
Yes. No. Corner 3 once again. Whoa, Rose-Hulman dodged a bullet. That would have been a big one.
But it's just one guy out there every possession that Rose is forgetting about, and it is biting him more often than not.
Harden. Downhill, oh, and the foul. That's one that you would have loved to see let go if you're Rose-Hulman. He had a clear path to the basket. If he wouldn't have got that foul. Redmond in, Busilla out for Wabash. And a foul.
Got another one.
Yep. Not a whole lot of foul trouble to speak of. Champ McCorkle does have 3. I believe he's the only player with 3. Yep.
Got Stoudemire back in there.
Stoudemire, let's see if he can be a little bit of a spark plug. George, gotta go. Has a little man on him.
Oh, got bailed out a little bit there.
That's where, you know, if you're Jurich and you have Redmond on you, you have a 6 or 7 inch advantage and maybe 80 pounds. Go quick.
Just go up, man.
Just go quick.
Come on, Vuk, hit some free throws. There we go.
There's a big one. Every point is precious, isn't it?
Yeah, he's just struggled so much from the free throw line this year that see if he can get it together here. There we go. All
it's
right.
the pair. 49-42. 12 and a half to go.
Well, you feel like the lead could be a lot more for Wabash, but Rose-Hulman just keeps hanging around.
Beaver misses from the corner.
Big chance here.
Jurich has the advantage. Oh, when he lost the ball, but he was tipped. Oh, that wasn't.
I think he got a little push him back there.
Okay. The crowd really getting after it.
They are. This is fun tonight.
You know, I talked about the students being on break, but there are actually several students here. Champ McCorkle is going to go out with his 4th foul. That's a big one for the Little Giants. Hicks on the drive, downhill. Terry Hicks has another 2.
Terry coming up big there. Just a 5-point game now. Got to keep this momentum going.
Under 12 minutes. Comer cut off by Bowman. Stoudemire on the grill of Redmond. Calls the turnover, Troy.
Great job by Stoudemire. Quick hands. I think he knocked it off of Redmond out of bounds, and boy, Rose has got it rolling here.
And you see in the bottom of your screen there, you saw a moment ago, Jurich really imploring the fans, the student section for Rose-Hulman to make some noise. They definitely have been. Stoudemire. Oh,
the bench
closed out on that
air.
3.
Wanted that one.
Yes. He'll let it fly. 10 on the shot.
There we go.
Jurich, 2 bounces. The bounce! And he's rocking the baby to sleep. Boom, Jurich, I told you he was animated.
Boy, he is destroying the McCorkles here tonight. He's got both of them now, just flailing at him in there.
Redmond, corner, keeps it moving. Comer, the drive. Beaver, the 3, looks good, is good. Avery three. Beaver 3 for 5 from distance tonight.
Oh, no.
In a big turnover, 3-on-1 break, 4-on-1. Redmond should give the pass. He didn't, and oh my. You're going to get a two-shot foul. When you got a 4-on-1 break, you have to capitalize. I thought Redmond should have given the ball up to a teammate.
Yeah, you'd like to see that. Boy, Fuchs got to keep his head up when he's running down the floor. That thing hit him right in the shoulder. He had no idea it was coming.
Shooting 2.
Comer will get 2 free throws. First one is off. That foul, who was that foul? Was that Stoudemire? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Foul number 1 on Stoudemire.
Every little play is going to be huge in this,
Yeah,
you know.
it is. You just feel the intensity being amped up with the crowd just really wanting to spring to life with every Rose-Hulman play. Bowman on the drive, on Beaver, gets cut off. Oh, a tough pass, Hicks keeps it. That was almost tipped and stolen away. Hicks, a tough shot in the paint, is true from 15. Terry Hicks tonight, he's got 9.
Yeah, he's kind of been pretty quiet about it, but stepping up big here in the last few minutes.
Excuse me, 7. Comer. Bowman doing a good job, but got him in the air, and Comer makes him pay.
Seems to be their go-to guy right now on offense, and it's paying off.
But they like that matchup.
They do, yep.
Harden downhill, a wild left-hand runner. Redmond has his head up on a swivel. Comer. Oh, Beaver. My goodness. Leave it to Beaver.
Well done, Walt.
58-48.
I wasn't ready for that. I'm sorry. That was,
just came to me, Troy.
That was clever. Boy, he's a killer, man. He's just stone cold killer from outside the arc.
Stoudemire. They're calling for 3 seconds in the paint. The crowd. How about the crowd for Wabash? They wanted 3 seconds for like 8 seconds.
They got it.
Finally get it, and they're laughing about it. They're like, man, finally. They're still laughing and buzzing about that.
This thing's right on the verge of getting out of control if you're Rose-Hulman, though.
Yep.
Beaver's just destroying them from outside.
Beaver just feeling it. Everything. Every time the ball comes to him, he wants it. Ball on a swivel. Shippert with the bucket in a quick timeout. 12-point lead Wabash, 8:34 to go in the game.
At Great Dane, we are proud to invest in our people and the communities we call home. We are hiring now for trailer assemblers and welders across the country. We need the makers, people who are ready to make a difference. We need you. Build something bigger for yourself and your family with great health benefits, advancement opportunities, 401k, pension, and more. Apply today at greatdane.com/careers.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives and led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
It's time for the halftime report.
119 years and 8 days ago is when the first meeting between Wabash and Rose-Hulman was played. December 12th, 1903. So it's been a little while since these two teams have been playing for a long, long time. 118 meetings, this being the 119th. When you look at that meeting in 1903 on a Saturday, 5 days later, the Wright brothers took their first flight.
kind of puts things
Kitty
in
Hawk,
perspective.
North Carolina.
there.
It does put it in perspective.
That's wild.
That's how long ago this was. And the week after that, Tony Harper was born. He's going to get me for that one.
Ooh, he
Right
should, too.
Here's Beaver. Oh, my. A little bit of a break. Beaver puts his head down off the glass. He can do no wrong.
Yeah, he's having a night for
no
sure.
wrong.
Boy, oh boy, what a night for Avery Beaver. But 10 threes now for Wabash tonight.
Max Chaplin can't hit a three. 0 for 3 from distance. They've done a good job finding him. When you look at Avery Beaver, he comes into the season shooting 27% from 3. You can't tell it tonight, can you?
No, not at all. This guy's been lights out.
Great job, the post feed and the post
nice.
Post up, but a steal. Stoudemire, oh, that's big. Kobe Stoudemire, the freshman, hits a big triple for the Engineers to get it down to a 9-point lead.
Sorry, Walt. The turnover, McGowan got a piece of the ball, knocked it away, leads to some points. Rose is not out of this thing.
Going to have to happen on the defensive end, isn't it, Troy?
Oh, absolutely. They've got to get a stop here on multiple possessions. You got to. There we go.
Offensive foul there by Shippert. I don't really think they needed the moving screen. You look at Styles McCorkle sharing a laugh with Miles McGowan. At least I think it was a laugh.
Well,
like
Styles was laughing. I don't know about McGowan.
Yeah, it looked like they were kind of joking with each other there. I don't know. Maybe they know each other. A lot of these guys played AAU ball together, I'm sure, and against each other. A lot of these guys, Indiana boys, probably know each other. So
yeah, I mean, McGowan's from Indianapolis, and the McCorkles both come from Greenwood, so I'm sure they've met somewhere along the way.
Jackson, the runner, just didn't have the angle. Once again, I love him getting downhill. We got to finish those off.
Especially at this juncture in the game.
Oh, that's a deep three by Jones. I didn't expect him to take that one.
No, Coach Bruman's not going to like that one.
He can definitely hit him. But this time and score, kind of dictates what you do. Chaplin down the lane. He gets another bucket. That's 2 buckets by Chaplin in the last minute or so. Engineers cut it to 7.
You hit the nail on the head a few minutes ago when you said this is going to be one on the defensive end. Rose-Hulman has to get multiple stops in a row here. Climb back into this.
They are going at matchups. I'm telling you. Redmond, the drive, the tip, in the foul by McGowan. I thought he might have got a lot of the ball. He probably didn't get a lot of the ball, but did get some body as well. It's going to be a 2-shot foul.
His third, team sport. Redmond at the line.
Redmond, a 61% free throw shooter coming into the ball game. Misses the first. You look at the game, 7 for 10 is what the Little Giants are from the free throw. They're a 74% free throw shooting team. So they're close to what they normally shoot. Redmond, that one's pure.
That Beaver back in now.
Yeah, that didn't last long, did it?
It's too hot, man.
Guys that hot, yeah. You just let him burn the court up.
It's important to Rose, for Rose, to come away with points on just about every possession down the stretch here.
Harden had Jones on him, can't take advantage of it. Swings the ball. Stoudemire. Hits from 3. Got it! Terry hit. The senior from Fishers, Indiana.
Boy, he's come up with some really clutch shots tonight. Yep.
Comer on the drive.
It's that matchup again.
Yeah. Traveled, I thought. McGowan gets the stop. Oh, and Jones takes it away from him. Wow. The strength by Amani Jones. Pushes this one back up to a 7-point lead. Stoudemire off the curl. Got it! Kobe Stoudemire, the freshman from Jeffersonville. Engineers need a stop in the worst way. Strong hedge by McGowan. 15 on the shot clock for Wabash. Oh, and the foul in the bucket. Champ McCorkle with his 4 fouls comes back in the game and shows up big in the end. That's going to be the 4th on McGowan. Simon Blair will replace him. So we take out 6'7" and bring back 6'7". One guy that we haven't seen in a while, and that might be due to the technical, will be Isaac Farnsworth.
Yeah, I don't think he's been in the second half, has he?
Well, since then. He went out not long after that and hasn't been back. And this game, when you need a defensive stop, you make a statement, and or if that's the case, if that's what you want to do, you just sit him. But this is a game that has Farnsworth's name written all over it.
Yeah.
From when you need a different defensive stop, maybe play some offense, defense, things of that nature. So.
Yeah, and they need to mix it up here on the defensive end because Wabash is starting to get comfortable again.
Yeah. We've just seen them go at different matchups over and over again to kind of initiate their offense, and you kind of like that. We want to thank our sponsors. I want to take a moment to do that. Indiana Army National Guard, Culver's, Great Dane, Hamilton Center, Honey Creek Collision Center, Lynn's Pharmacy, Mossy Oak Properties, Riddell National Bank, and York Automotive. This is our last broadcast for the calendar year of 2022. So we'll have the holiday break, Christmas break, and then New Year's. Watch a lot of sports on TV, and then come back Wednesday, January 4th, right here at the Holman Arena. Franklin will be in town for a men's basketball conference affair. The three-point play not capitalized on. 67-61, 4:30 to go in the game. In regulation, that is. Stoudemire off the curl. Tight defense by Basila.
Kind of think Kobe's feeling it a little bit.
Yep. Freshman is not afraid. 10 on the shot clock. Blair swings it to Chaplin. Chaplin looks off the deck, has to put it up, step back, had contact with the ball. I'm sorry, that was what I'm trying to say. Kind of deflected that shot. Chaplin didn't have anything going there. Redmond gets to the corner. They swing the ball. Now have to reset. Oh, boy. They got Stoudemire on that matchup. That's what I'm talking about. Champ McCorkle had the seal, got the ball, did not put it on the deck, and went straight up with an easy deuce.
Well, ever since he got his 4th foul, he's been killing it down in the paint.
Chaplin, the offensive board. That one was stripped by Redmond. Stripped by Redmond. Turnover number 9 for the Engineers. Let's see what Wabash can do on this offensive possession. Stretch it out to double-digit lead if they can get a bucket here. They work this shot clock down to 10 once again. Comer gets pushed by Harden. Pushed by Harden. That's going to be a reset of the shot clock, and we'll take it out baseline left.
Comer's been a really tough matchup for Rose all night long. I mean, he's, 6'5". He's pretty big dude, and they just had trouble matching him with their guards.
Mm-hmm. And there he is in the paint, just too strong. Missed the shot, but Shipper the offensive board. Oh boy, Shipper the offensive board. They're using their strength to their advantage. Chaplin forces one, but it goes. Quick timeout. Quick timeout by Coach Sales, 2:44 to go. We'll be right back.
At Lynn's Pharmacy, we're more than just your pharmacist. We're your neighbors.
Our kids go to the same schools.
We eat at the same restaurants.
We sit next to you in church.
When I listen to a symptom.
When I fill a prescription.
When I offer advice, I'm not just helping a customer. I'm helping my neighbor and a friend. My name is Lynn Hofstetter, and I'm the proud owner of Lynn's Pharmacy, a modern pharmacy with old-fashioned values and personal service dedicated to keeping you, your family, and our community healthy since 1872.
Here at Lynn's Pharmacy, downtown Brazil.
We were choosing colors for the house, and I stopped and looked at Mike and said, "We're really doing this, aren't we?" The process was challenging, but Riddell was there for us every step of the way. The mortgage, closing, they eased our stress. It made sense when Mike said,
"We're really doing this."
Mortgage loans made easy from Riddell. Making friends since 1885.
This game is presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
It's not often that Rose-Hulman loses a stat points in the paint, but so far tonight, Wabash 32, Rose-Hulman 26 in points in the paint. That is something that you don't see Rose-Hulman on the shallow side of very often.
Yeah, Rose-Hulman, I mean, they've really kind of struggled here in the second half. Wabash is so balanced, you know. They've really been attacking inside, especially with Comer down there. And, boy, whenever they get two guys on him, he's kicking out to Beaver. And
yeah.
It's a tough attack from the Little Giants. Hard to handle for sure.
10 of 20 from distance are the Little Giants so far tonight, handling the pressure very well on that possession. Rose-Hulman with the little trap, couldn't quite get the turnover. Rose-Hulman fans over here to my left are on their feet, hoping for a contact, and I thought, it must have gone off the side of mine. I was hoping that it was off Redmond last, but there was no dispute by Rose-Hulman, so the call must have been true. Redmond looking. Stoudemire, good defense. Redmond, better offense.
Wabash, boy, if they become just a little bit more polished, I mean, you can see this team this year and next year making a postseason run for sure. So much talent.
Yeah, they have talent. Absolutely. Blair, top of the key. Chaplin on the curl, free throw line jumper, no good. Hicks skies for the rebound. Comer gets to Karam. Redmond falls down, gets back up, getting ready to get the pass from Comer. Coach calls a timeout. Coach Drummond calls a timeout. A quick 30. We'll be right back.
It could be anyone. The star student, the all-state athlete. I never thought it could happen to me, that I could lose everything. I found help, I found hope, I found recovery. I regained something lost.
This game is presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
73-63, Rose-Hulman has not been able to dent this lead. They've got it down to 6, and Wabash at every turn has answered the run of Rose-Hulman with timely buckets.
Yeah, they really have. Comer and Beaver, and every once in a while you'll see Jones pop in there with a big one, and, you know, no matter where you look, there's a weapon on the Little Giants.
Hard trap near the 10-second line. They get out of it. Jones, the triple. Oh, my, and hits the push-off. Yeah, I saw that from up here. I was hoping he got away with it, but he did not.
Some positives to take out of tonight for Rose-Hulman, but I mean, it's kind of the same bugaboos they've had the last few games, you know. It's the three-point defense, and, you know, the free throw shooting's not been good. And
Well, the Little Giants have played now, I think like half the conference. They beat Mount St. Joe's. They beat Hanover. They're getting ready to put one on us here. It looks like they lost to Earlham, and they beat Anderson.
That's funny because Earlham's 1-8 on the year.
Yep. Triple there by, I believe that's Stoudemire. Brings it to an 8. So we'll see if we can get a turnover. Just great spacing. Just great spacing and knowing you're going to get the pressure. Rose-Hulman trying to foul. They get one there. It's going to be a 1-and-1.
Rose-Hulman, number 3, Bradley Harden.
But yeah, that loss, that was a home loss to Earlham. I don't necessarily know what in the world happened there. I'm going to be honest with you.
I don't either. You got to think something was out of the ordinary on that.
Sometimes you just have a stinker.
But boy, they've got it together tonight for sure, and going to be a tough matchup down the road if you've got Wabash on the schedule.
Absolutely. Makes free throws, and it's back to a 10-point lead. Last minute, Harden to drive, the left-hand runner is good. Trying to get the ball in bounds, the quick strip or a foul, either one is fine. You would prefer the turnover, but if you can't get it, Rose-Hulman, they just got to put them to the free throw line and hope they miss the free throws.
Yeah, just keep lengthening the game.
Yeah.
Every once in a blue moon, this works out. So.
Yeah. We were hoping that Rose-Hulman could get it to a one-possession ball game. A couple times, like you mentioned, they got it down to 6, maybe even 5, but they could not get it to one possession as the free throw was made by Jones to earn in the second one. You would think maybe if you can just get some pressure, but you just couldn't get to that level. Just a well-coached team. Very disciplined, like you mentioned at the beginning.
How many does Jones have tonight?
Not many. He's got 5.
Yeah,
1 for 10 from the field.
He averages 16. He's the leading scorer, so kind of an off night for him.
It is. And a steal as Redmond stole the pass by Chaplin. Yeah. Jones 5 points on the evening. And that's it. So you have other guys that you need to step up, and they do, then that, you can absorb a night like that where Jones just doesn't have it going.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Beaver, he averages 6, and he had well more than that.
Yeah, he's got 14.
Yeah, Shippard only averages about 2.5. So
he's got 12.
So, yeah, other guys stepping up,
They average 5 guys in double figures. They have 5 guys in double figures tonight. Just not the 5 that it normally is, necessarily. But it doesn't really matter, does it? Stoudemire, 3 in and out. Stoudemire's going to be a good one.
He really is.
The future's very bright for that young man.
Fun to watch, real athletic, got a good-looking shot.
Yeah. Engineers probably won't foul. And it's going to be a disappointing loss, but this is a really fine team Rose-Hulman is losing to tonight. 80-68, the 12-point win for the Wabash Little Giants as they move their record to 8 wins and 2 defeats. Rose-Hulman will be under 500 once again this season and move down to 5-6. They've been hovering around 500 for the majority of the entire season. As Rose-Hulman looking to start a winning streak that's going to have to wait until after the new year. We'll step aside for a break. Come back with an abbreviated post-game show. Wabash 80, Rose-Hulman 68, right here on the Indiana Sports Network.
XLH Sports, the undisputed leader in Indiana high school sports, is proud to be associated with the Indiana Sports Network. XLH Sports. Check it out today.
If somebody's kind of on the fence of going into a recruiting office or just reaching out to a recruiter, I would absolutely encourage it, if anything, just for the information.
We have a lot of enlistment bonuses out there right now, upwards to about $20,000. If you're in college or you plan to be to college, this is a great choice for you, because our organization, we look for students who want to go to college. We also have educational benefits where we pay up to 100% of.
There is a greatness inside of you, a passion, a strength, a determination. So embrace it. Embrace the greatness that you bring to everything you do. Embrace the idea that you can do work that makes an impact, work that keeps the country moving forward and our economy strong. Because not everyone has what you have, and that's exactly what connects you to all of us at Great Dane. There's greatness inside of you. Are you ready to embrace it?
You're watching College Sports on the Indiana Sports Network, presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
Troy, at the halftime break, I said water tends to find its level. Wabash, a 33% three-point shooting team. I thought they would dip in the second half. They did not. They finished 10 of 21 for the game, and just a massive performance by the Little Giants tonight.
Yeah, not really who we expected to be doing the shooting either. You know, Avery Beaver, got to call his name tonight. He played an excellent game. I'd say one of his better ones all season. And, they're about a 45% shooting team overall per game this year. And tonight they shot just barely under 60. Yeah. So, Wabash brought it tonight from some different guys. And Rose just couldn't quite keep up.
Not going to win too many games giving up 60% from the field. Rose-Hulman still some things to build on for tonight. It was a non-conference game, so you don't drop in the standings there, but Rose-Hulman, a well-needed break, and then we'll come back after the new year to start. You mentioned three more home games in a row to hopefully get onto some good footing here.
Yeah, you've got a solid 2 weeks off, as we said earlier, kind of recharge the batteries.
Right.
You got to get ready. Now it's the stretch run. This is the hard part of the season. Mm-hmm. You've got all the fun pre-season stuff out of the way in the non-conference schedule, and now you get into the thick of it. And in the Heartland Conference, it's a rough road to hoe for sure. And they're going to start off tough. I mean, they got Franklin. Bluffton's kind of having a down year so far, but then Manchester's really good. So we should have three good ones here in the Holbert Arena. So
always fun when the Engineers are playing right here in the Holbert Arena. It's a great venue to watch a game. So make sure to come out and watch Rose-Hulman bring in the new year on January the 4th. That'll be our next broadcast right here on the Indiana Sports Network. So Wednesday, 7:30 tip-off, 7:15 pregame show. I want to thank our sponsors one last time, Culver's, Great Dane, Hamilton Center, Honey Creek Collision Center, Lynn's Pharmacy, Mossy Oak, Riddell National Bank, and York Automotive. Our presenting sponsor, can't forget the Indiana Army National Guard. Kanan Harper, Nathan Cowan, Sebastian De La Rosa, our camera operators, our director and producer, Mr. Tony Harper. Troy, I want to say happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you and to yours. And all of us here at Indiana Sports Network wish you, and especially you, happy holidays. Be safe this holiday season. Enjoy your loved ones, your families, and Merry Christmas to all and a Happy New Year. Stay warm as you can. If you're watching this from the south, please don't rub it in too awfully much. Don't get any suntan. Up here in the north, but we're just going to have to hunker down and stay safe. Some weather coming in. Hope everybody stays safe over the holiday season. We'll see you January 4th. You've been watching the production of Indiana Sports Network, LLC. Thank you for watching.
You're watching Rose-Hulman men's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
This program is a copyrighted production of Indiana Sports Network and cannot be shown, reproduced, or redistributed in any way or in any form without prior written permission from Indiana Sports Network.